I'm just gonna kind of push my brows up just to kind of add to that whole feathered brow. It's a process when you don't have much hair there. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new, then welcome to my YouTube channel, which is everything to do with makeup and so educational. Now, in this video today, I am going to be showing you how to create a spring evening makeup look. The reason I say evening is because I feel like there are so many tutorials out there which are for spring makeup looks, which are great for the daytime. But what about if you want a really nice spring look for the evening with that little bit of like a little touch of glam? So that's what I'm going to show you. Now, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. And you can catch me over on Instagram. So let's head straight into the video. Okay, so as always, no makeup on. I've just tied my hair back roughly because at the end, I actually do want to kind of see what we can do with the hair. And I'm going to be using my eye cream first, which is the Ulla Henriksen Wrinkle Blur. Okay, going in with my moisturizer, which currently I'm using the Forever Living products in, well, nothing. There's no shade. That's really weird. I don't know why I said that. I'm really kind of like slapping on the moisturizer because we do want the skin to look nice and kind of glowy. Okay, concealer. I'm going to apply this over my eyelids. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape. Because we're doing kind of like spring evening makeup, we also do want it to look like we're actually, you know, there's something going on. Like I'd say normal spring makeup is kind of colourful, not like super bold, but really nice kind of spring colours, you know, like it's a little bit colourful, but it's not overly colourful. So on my skin tone, you need to kind of like use slightly brighter colors so that it shows up. So anyway, I'm going to do the eyes. So I need some good coverage as well because it's evening makeup. So I do want it to look kind of like, you know, a little bit glam. So I'm just going to buff this in, just using my beauty blender to buff this into the eyelids. And because we're using kind of like not dark colors, I think I can do my base first fully and then we can do the eye makeup. Okay, just using my Ben Nye banana powder. Just going to press that over my lids and dust off the powder. Now, I want this makeup to last because obviously it's evening makeup. So I'm using my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Absolutely love this primer. Okay, my skin is nice and tacky now. Okay, next, go back in with my concealer and I'm going to kind of like give myself some coverage here. I'm just going to wait a minute or so just to kind of let that semi-set because I like the product to be, I wouldn't say fully dry, but I just don't want it to be super fluid. Yeah, so because then it just kind of like, if you wait just a little bit, like 30 seconds or so, it kind of like stays in that place, but it just blends nicely. So try it out, you might like it. In the meantime, I'm going to use my Dior Lip Maximizer in 012. That's just going to prep my lips. Okay, so I'm going to go in and start blending this. I'm getting my beauty blender. I want to keep the product where it is, but just kind of like make sure it's spread out on the under eye area. So I don't want it to spread out onto the cheeks too much. Just buffing, and when I'm buffing, I'm just like patting. Whatever's left on this sponge, I just kind of like take onto other areas, just wherever I feel like maybe I need a bit of extra coverage. Okay, now my foundation, I actually do want a kind of slightly glowy finish to my look. So I'm using the new NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I'm using the shade Barcelona. I'm just applying this with my sponge. So I've got like a beauty blender and I'm just kind of like pressing this in. This gives me a really nice dewy finish. Like it's a natural base, but at the same time it is buildable. So like you can keep building this base up, but it really is a nice finish. So I'm just going to go on the under eyes and then just spread it out. Make sure you go over the nose. I don't want a heavily contoured face. That's why I haven't contoured underneath, because I'm actually just going to use a cream bronzer just to warm up my face and just add it into certain areas where I feel like I want a little bit of sculpting, but it's not major. I'm going to just make sure that there are no creases here on my under eye. and then press in the powder. I just want to get that bit done because otherwise I just feel like the coverage isn't great if I wait and wait. Now I'm just gonna like dust this off. I'm just keeping it on the under eye area because the rest of the face I want to stay kind of like glowy because I also want to add some cream blush and some cream bronzer. So now my under eyes are like set. I don't need to worry about that now, so I can just move on with the rest of the face, but you can see it's nice and clean underneath. So next up, what I'm going to do is use a cream blush. I'm using my e.l.f. Turks and Caicos putty blush. I'm actually using a stipple brush. This is a MAC one, but I can't even tell because the numbers come off, but it's a medium-sized stipple brush. And I'm just kind of like going into the blush, and it gives me a really nice diffused finish because it's such a kind of like soft brush. Okay, it's like color, but it's not in your face. I love it. Next up, I'm gonna use my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. This is actually Intensity 2, and I'm using that dark shade there. I'm just gonna use my 134 brush from Zoeva. It's like a fluffy brush, and it gives, again, a really nice diffused finish. I'm just gonna kind of like buff this in. I just want some sculpting basically. And I'm basically applying it directly under the blush, making sure there's more color here and it's gradually fading out. Just kind of like going into my hairline here just to warm up my face a little. Also, it's just warming up the perimeter of my face, but it's also kind of like just giving a bit of definition to that area. And then I'm just getting my 230 blending brush from Fenty, and I've got a little bit of the product. I've taken it off on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna kind of like sculpt my nose. So I'm just going down the side of the bridge of the nose. And you can blend with your finger because obviously we haven't set this area at all. And then just the tip to just kind of like give it a smaller tip. Okay, so now I want to kind of set more in certain areas. So I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush. I can never get the name right. Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in medium 2. And I've just got my setting brush. And I'm going to just basically matte down my face in most of my areas. Under eyes are already done. I think I'm mainly going to do like the center of the face. Okay, this is where I just want a kind of fluffy brow finish. I'm going to use the Anastasia brow pen in soft brown, and I'm literally just going to be, let me just hold on, I want to make sure that you guys can see. I'm just going to be replicating hairs. So I'm using my brow freeze from Anastasia. I've got my spoolie. I just kind of like press it in there because I don't like too much of it, but I'm just gonna kind of push my brows up just to kind of add to that whole feathered brow. It's a process when you don't have much hair there. Okay, so now I'm using my Dominique Cosmetics Rustic palette, and it matches my top. Okay, we're going to use the color Desert Queen. I'm just going to kind of pack this color onto my lid. I'm using the Fenty 200 brush, and I'm just going to put this all over my lid. And because it's like a spring evening glam look, it's not about being super heavy, but we also do want that kind of like flush of color coming through. Kind of like taking it on the lid, but also kind of like up into the socket area because I don't want it to look so disconnected. I want it to look like it's just kind of like melting into the skin. Just like a wash of color. Do you know what? I think earlier I said flush of color. That didn't make sense. I was meant to say wash of color. Flush of color. Doesn't even make sense. Why did I say flush of color? So just taking it upwards and outwards. Now we're going to go into the lower lash line, and I'm using the 230 brush from Zoeva. I'm just going into the lower lashes, but I don't want to put too much of the color there. Just a little bit, so again, so it doesn't look disconnected. just side to side, really close to the lash line. Now I'm getting my MAC 219 brush. I'm going into the shade Suede. Basically, like using the flat part of the brush, not the tip, and just pressing at the end from the lash line, and then almost like creating a very subtle wing. Really close to my lash line there, so it's just really kind of soft. And then I'm gonna get that other brush, you know, that Fenty 200 brush, with whatever's left on that brush, that kind of peachy shade that we used, and just kind of like blend that wing. Can you see how there's a little bit kind of definition there? It's not too much, but you can see the difference. So we're gonna do the same on the other eye. I'm gonna use the Sigma E06 brush. I'm gonna dip into that brown, and I'm gonna go super close to my lash line and almost like take it in a little bit, you know, to give my eyes that feline look. So just a tiny bit here. And then I'm also gonna just kind of go super close to my lash line. So just press it in at the lash line, just to give me a little bit of definition there. Okay, I'm also gonna do that on my lower lash line, but not all the way across. Just like, so it fades in. I'm gonna use the Nude Sticks Lash Lengthening Mascara, because I don't want like super thick lashes or clumpy lashes. I just want them to look pretty natural. I'm gonna finish with the Hindash Lip Pencil in Hush. I'm just gonna get rid of any kind of excess lip product, like as in the dual lip maximizer that I had on. I like kind of like blurring the edges so it doesn't look so perfect. Okay, I'm gonna use the NARS liquid lipstick, what's this called? Not Air Matte Lip Color. And just a little bit there. Now what I've decided that I do want to add is I'm gonna get that Sigma brush again, go into the shade Suede, and I'm just gonna draw a little wing because I feel like I need it. That's really kind of like faded, but it adds just a little bit of lift there. Okay, so I like this. This is a really nice look for spring. So I feel like it's a really good evening look. So it still has that kind of color in there. So that's those spring colors, but it's not OTT. It's not in your face. It's not like, oh my God, there's so much color there. But also it's really nice for the evening as well, because I feel like it's just a really nice, pretty, cute makeup look for spring. I really do hope that you love that look, and I hope that I've made it really easy for you to recreate. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments box below. Don't forget that all the products are listed in my description box below, so all you need to do is click on the links and it will take you straight to the product. Now, as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.